Welcome to Couch Conversations, the space where real talk meets God talk.
We're two best friends who love Jesus, deep convos, and a whole lot of laughs.
From relationships and faith to the messy middle of adulting, we're chatting about it all right here on the couch.
So grab your snacks, get cozy, and let's get into it. This is Couch Conversations.
What's up, cousins? Welcome back to another episode of Couch Conversations. We're your hosts, Kelsey
And Deja.
and we're so happy to have you back on the couch with us. But before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share, and follow us on all social media platforms, whether that's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Make sure you follow. And make sure you share with a friend
And tell a friend.
and tell them to share with another friend, share with their family and whoever. But make sure you continue to check us out. So let's get into today's couch conversation. What are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about walking into rooms like God sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to have to clock that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially like the workforce, I know for me, like starting off when I got my first big girl job, I was scared. Like I was worried about all the wrong things of are they gonna take me serious? Because I'm always the youngest on the
Right.
teams that I work on. These are people who have been on the job for decades or at least 10 years under their belt. And always wondering, like, are they gonna take me serious? Am I gonna do well on the job? Am I gonna execute the job like they need and want me to? And I realizing like God wouldn't put me in these positions if he didn't think I was capable of doing them. And sometimes we walk in fear instead of faith.
Yeah, and to just put into perspective for our cousins, we are both 29, so
Mhm.
we're speaking on experience, maybe even starting like in our college years, so like undergrad years up to now in our like more adults, fresh adults,
Fresh
honestly,
adult.
adulthood or adult years. But going back to walking into rooms like God sent us or sent you, if he didn't want us to be in that room, he wouldn't have put us there. So he already know like where he wants us to be. So I think like going back to like the fear part of it, we shouldn't be fearful of something or somewhere where he's placing us there for a reason. Because it's just like you said, we may have been asking for these things, and now that we're being like given those things, we were like, oh no, I don't
No,
want
I
it.
don't
I don't want
want
it
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is too much.
Mhm.
But he apparently trusts us with those things and
Mhm.
trusts that we will excel in those rooms and like just like when you walk in there, how all the eyes will be on you because you walking in there like I'm here,
I'm here.
like I'm present. But I think when walking into rooms, we have to recognize from one, like we're there for a reason.
Mhm.
Um, those rooms may not be forever. It may just be a door that you have to go to get to the next room.
Mhm.
So think of like an escape room.
Right.
What we're not trying to escape really,
But
but you're
yeah,
trying to get to
to
the
the
next
end goal.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just walking in there like owning it
Mhm.
because he wouldn't place us somewhere where we wouldn't or where he doesn't think we should be.
Right. And going back to that point you said about like we pray and ask God for these things, and then when we get them, we're like, oh, we shaking in our boots. But sometimes we have to realize too, when we pray and ask for things, we also need to pray for God to give us the capabilities to handle it. I think that's the word I want to use.
Mhm.
Um, and guide us to handle it, because sometimes God would give us things that we so beg for just to show like you weren't ready for this or whatnot.
Mhm.
But when He really has something for you, and you know the vision and you know what you hear from Him, you have no choice but to walk in it boldly, because
Mhm.
it's just like this is your opportunity
Mhm.
that many people don't get,
Right.
and it's specifically for you.
Right. And I think just also like we I don't think it's necessarily like we're fearing something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that's new. So where
Mm-hmm.
you're not used to that new thing, you don't know. 9 times out of 10, you don't know how to handle it.
Right.
So going back to like when you said asking God to give us like the ability to be able to handle it, that is very important
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to mishandle your blessing.
Right.
Because the same as fast as you get that blessing, it can easily be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Just asking him to guide you through this new thing, understanding that, and this is something that I recently seen on like TikTok or Instagram, where you always say, I can do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment, it's something new that you
Mm-hmm.
have to adapt to. So giving yourself grace as well.
And if everything comes easy to you, you never learn to appreciate things,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like we appreciate things that we actually have to work for, and we
Mm,
actually have to work through or whatnot. Things that come easy, it's easy for you to just take advantage of or take it
mm-hmm.
for granted, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, like praying that you don't mishandle the blessings that we have begged Him for us, because sometimes, because I know for me, I know He probably be sick of me
He be
sometimes.
like, you again?
Like,
Like, what you
girl, you
want?
already done asked me before. Be patient.
Uh-huh.
Be patient. Um, or what? Nah, but yeah.
And I think with that, and I'll just take myself for an example. So going back like to jobs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, especially when you're looking for a career shift,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you're like, okay, so I'm gonna just give a little backstory. So prior to my current job, when it was time for me to transition to a new one,
Mm-hmm.
because the position was grant funded, so of course I didn't have no control over that.
Right.
So when I started applying, um, and also just to give some context, so because this will be important, have a master's degree, have a national certification.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some context that will be important for this, and have a little bit of experience under my belt in public health. Um, so when I started applying for jobs or even just searching, I said I at least want to, 'cause, some job applications like to ask, what is your minimum salary? Like, why does
Right. Why
that
does it
matter? Are you
matter?
gonna pay me what I'm worth, or what you gonna do? Are you gonna
Right.
lowball me? So I would put my minimum salary would be this X amount of money, knowing good and well I should have been asking way more than
Way
that.
more.
But it's just the idea of like, okay, in public health, specifically in like the health education field of your area, we're not paid well
Right.
or paid what we're worth in the work that
Mm-hmm.
we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just start there, and considering like I have some experience, but of course I should not should, but I would like more.
Right.
Um, I was like, okay, I'll just put this amount. And I was looking for jobs, and that was really the amount I was only seeing. I was like, okay, is this amount sustainable for life? Because life ain't cheap,
And it's
especially
constantly
here in
going up.
Charlotte. Okay. And I was like, okay. And then I applied for my current position, and they were offering like really well. Um, and even then, like the qualifications for it, like the minimum qualifications was, I think it was just like an associate's degree.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, like the starting pay was good.
Right.
And once I interviewed for the position, offered the position, and they told me how much I was being offered, I was like,
Me?
This is way more than what I was asking for
Right.
when I was searching and applying for jobs. And to just think I was lowballing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they offered me more than what the range on the job posting
Mm-hmm.
said. And I was just like, not
Mm-hmm.
only did y'all give me a great salary, but y'all went overboard and gave me more.
Right.
And it's just like, just thinking about what they offered me compared to what I was putting on applications
Mm-hmm.
is just crazy, because it's just like they see my potential, they see my worth, they see what I've done, they see the experience that I have, they see the money that I put into going to school and
Mm-hmm.
getting this certification, because that
Mm-hmm.
certification is not cheap at
At
all.
all.
And it's not cheap to sustain it. But
Listen.
recertifications next year.
Listen.
You
And
got your credits? I
I
need
got some of them. I ain't got all of them.
I need to email them and ask them, like, do credits roll over?
Right.
Because if I
Because
gotta start from zero, that's crazy.
insane, actually, especially how much it is for credits. And for a little bit of credit, it'd be about $500 at minimum.
But anyway, so yeah, of course, y'all. In our last episode, we talked about the sidebars we be having, but it just showed me like I lack that confidence in my work.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got that offer and was like, girl, like you really out here,
Mm-hmm.
like you have the potential. Why are you doubting
You're doubting
yourself?
yourself,
And
right?
I think something else I brought up in the first episode was when COVID time, when I was
Mm-hmm.
looking for jobs, and how I was like doubting my worth and my potential when I applied for one position, and then one of the interviewers asked me why I didn't apply for the
Other
lead,
position,
like the
yeah.
investigator position. So just like recognizing and finally giving myself the praise that I deserve
Right.
has definitely been a challenge, but I'm really working on it, because now it's just like if nobody else sees my if I don't see the potential in myself,
How
with
you expect
anybody else,
anybody else?
right?
Right.
And so now with that, it's like I'm walking into this room because God really sent me. He saw it in me, that he saw something in me that was just like, girl, you deserve to be in that room.
Right.
You deserve to be at that table,
Mm-hmm.
because like I'm doing things now that I didn't have no idea. And I don't want to say never, but
Right.
currently it's
It wasn't
something.
in your view, yeah.
Right. It
Yeah.
wasn't something I thought I would be doing at this stage of my life, this
Yeah.
early on in my career. Like being in rooms with developers, being at
Mm-hmm.
the table with directors of departments, or being in rooms with like the movers and the shakers in the community, and
Right.
just different they're like major foundations, and
Mm-hmm.
just hearing like their thought process, seeing how things are done at a local government level, and just
Right.
things like that. And it's like, I deserve to be in this room. I deserve
Right.
to be at this table.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's amazing. And it's just
Yeah.
like sometimes I find myself just being thankful, like, oh, thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to relocate to
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte. Been here for almost 7 years. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to continue to grow and evolve into this
Right.
woman that you want me to be
Mm-hmm.
and that I desire to be. Thank God for putting me in this room and doing the hard things,
Mm-hmm. And
because
even
it's
closing the
hard.
doors to rooms that I don't need to be in.
Right. Or in rooms I thought I should be in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought, oh, if I do this, that get me where I want to be.
Right.
And it's not about where I want to be, it's about where he thinks, where he
We
knows
destines me to
I
be.
should be.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that goes along with like just trusting his plan and his
Mm,
process. Like
mm-hmm.
so many times we pray for him to do the things for us, And he is, and because it doesn't look like what we think we should have or what we think we should be, we think he's not moving
Mm.
on our behalf, when instead we moving in the way.
Mm-hmm.
We get in the way and we're trying to do things on our own and then wonder why
Mm.
things aren't happening for us. And that's something I had to, and I'm still working on and learning, because as you know, like, I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like, and I've been feeling like this for a little minute, that it's
Mm-hmm.
time for a change and a
Mm-hmm.
transition. For me, because I don't want to get to a place of being complacent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get to a place where I feel like I'm just doing a routine of a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do more, as far as like, I don't feel like I'm at my full potential.
Right.
Um,
You feel like you've done all that you can do in this current
right.
position. Yeah.
And I feel very stagnant right now.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I do love my job because I
Mm-hmm.
do love the people that I work with.
Of course, yeah.
But that's not fulfilling to me
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. And I will be praying to God, like, because I've been looking for a little, I don't want to say too much, but I'll be praying to God, like, God, what my heart desire is.
Mm.
Like, like, I appreciate where
Mm-hmm.
you've got me, because this is just another stepping stone,
Mm-hmm.
for me, um, or whatnot. Like, I prayed for this job before. Like, at a point of time, this job was an answered prayer
Right.
for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I trust you because I've seen you done it before for me. But it just feels like nothing is shaking. And
Mm-hmm.
as you know, a couple of opportunities have come to me like
Mm-hmm.
recently, but with how things are going on, it quickly got snatched.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that gets discouraging and disheartening. Like, I like started praying and talking to God, because I don't be like, Lord Father God. I be like, yo,
Yo, Big G.
Big G, what going on? Like, I have all these things, and I
Mm-hmm.
do struggle with like realizing like my potential and like what I'm worth,
Mm-hmm.
um, or whatnot. Because of course I didn't finish my master. Well, I'm currently in the process of finishing my master's
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. But I've have all the certifications. I have like all the things and done all the things. And it's like, speaking in rooms with people and just being there. And it's just like, okay, is that still not good enough? Like, why aren't I able to move past this point
Mm-hmm.
of where I'm feeling stagnant? Like, you said that you have abundance for me and
Mm-hmm.
all these things. And if I pray and ask, and if it's in your will, that it's for me.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it gets discouraging. Then you start questioning yourself, especially when you get them emails that says we decided to go with candidates who qualification more closely aligns. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Or we thank you for your time, but we're considering other applications.
yeah. And then you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you, especially if you already like struggle with imposter syndrome, all
Mm-hmm.
of that is in your head, and it's just like, bruh. And so I've started like praying to God and just be like, you know what, God, I surrender to your will. Like, I'm done trying it my way. And I got discouraged of like, stop trying to apply to things and stuff like that. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
started back like, applying to things. But I'm just like, you know what, God, I surrender it to you. If
Mm-hmm.
even if that means like me knowing that I want to move on to something else,
Mm-hmm.
even if that means you telling me that I need to stay where I'm at right
Mm.
now, but like my assignment isn't done
Hmm.
of where I'm at.
And so a few things that you said. So going back to the part where you said that we we want things, but we're not being patient.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something else you said, but as in a response to that, I would say that God is always working.
Mm-hmm.
We may not see what he's doing like physically, but he is always working.
Right.
He is always like ordering our steps to get us where we need to be. and we may not understand it like right then,
Mm-hmm.
and we may not understand it like when it initially happens, when we first, like when we actually get there,
You're right.
but eventually we will, because maybe it's something, it may not necessarily be something that you asked for, honestly,
Right.
but he more than likely had to put you there in order for you to get where you really want to be.
Right.
And I think that's something else that I know we both like struggle with, because
Mm-hmm.
we've had conversations about that. But just realizing like he's always working, and that we may have to take detours. It may require us
Mm-hmm.
getting there a different way to initially plan, or like how we actually wanted to get there. Um, so yeah, he is always working. He's always like in the room,
Right.
moving things around, moving mountains.
Moving mountains. And that kind of reminds me, I saw a TikTok the other day of a guy who was just like, when as we're like growing up and trying to figure ourselves out, we always have a plan for our life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I was a teenager, I envisioned myself being married by like 24, having kids by like 25, 26, having a house by
It sounds like
30.
MASH. You remember the game
You're
MASH?
MASH. Like, my life was figured out in high school. And then it's like, okay, 23 come around. I ain't got no man inside. Like, I just got out, look, can't even get words out. Just got out of a terrible relationship that I thought it was going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
There's no man in sight, so no marriage in sight, no kids in sight, no house in sight, because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm surviving with this doggone apartment, living on my own. So none of that. And then of course you get discouraged, because like you say, you had this plan figured out. Like, and this been my plan since I was 14 years old, that this is how my life is gonna look. And here I am at this point that I said, and it ain't looking like nothing.
You got the A part of
You
MASH.
got that. That's it. That's it. But just taking it back to the video, he said, like, basically it was like, I had this idea of what my life was going to be like, what my path is going to be like, and I was trying to do everything possible to get on that path and stay on that path. And all it did was lead me further away from what I thought I wanted. And so he was like, now I'm not even trying like a path of my own. I'm letting God like lead the way, because clearly what I was doing it ain't working. It ain't right. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So that's where I'm trying to be. Like, actually today I just had a talk with God. It was just, I don't know. Like, sometimes you just have those moments where you really just need to have a one-on-one with him. And it was so random, because I was just like, I was on break. I was just sitting on the couch and I had to sit up. And I'm just like, hey, we need to talk. It's me again. We need to talk. And I was just like, God, like, it's hard. It's really hard when like, and this kind of conversation I had with my dad like the other night, and I was just talking and I was saying, it's like, it kind of stemmed from the conversation I had with you, and I seen that long 2-minute voice note. But it was just me saying, like, the point I am in my life right now, like, I'm trying to live the way that God wants me to. I'm trying to develop a deeper relationship with him. I'm trying to do all the right things and be a good person, and do all the right things, not just for what I can get from him as far as like blessings and stuff like that. But I just know at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I want to be with him. I don't want to be with that other thing. I want to be with him. But I say all that to say, it's like, it seems like people, and sometimes you just get on the vent, because God is okay with you being vulnerable with him and having those emotions. Like, people be afraid to be angry with God or be upset with him. But he wants you to come to him with that, not just you angry with him and you shy away from him and you turn away from him. He wants you to bring that all to him. But I was just saying, like, I try to do all the things, try to do things the right way, try to work hard. And it always seemed like, and I feel like we talked about this in a previous episode, but it always seemed like people who do the worst things are always coming out on top. They always get the things that they want, and what they need. Like it's like they never have to work hard for
Put in
anything
the
for real,
work.
put in the work for it. And it seemed like the people who put in the work and put in the effort and try to do all the things, it's like you always end up coming up short. And it was a moment of frustration, like for real. Like I said, I was talking, I'm like, God, like I be trying like all these things. I try to, for one, respect the blessings that you have given me and honor that, because you didn't have to give it to me. Because there are people our ages who aren't even nearly close to where we are. And it's not like comparing, but it's like it's just realizing like where I'm at and where I could be. Because some of these people, we come up in the same environment and that could be us. But and that's not downing anybody, but it's just being real about it. So I try to honor what God has given me. You've given me a roof over my head. I never have to. The only time I worry about food is like deciding on what I want to eat. People don't have the luxury of deciding what they want to eat. I have AC in this heat. I have transportation to go anywhere I want to go. I have a job that allows me to afford all these things. I have the mental capacity to do these things. So I try to be appreciative of those things, especially when I see people who don't even have a piece of what I have. So I try to do other things, and it's just like sometimes it just don't seem productive. But like you said, just realize, and maybe that was confirmation for me after having that talk today, because we had a long talk. But maybe that's confirmation for me of saying like, just because I don't see it happening, that doesn't mean it's not, because it's the same thing of we don't see God, but we believe in him. We know that just from like our circumstances in our life, we know that he exists. I mean, some people may not believe, but that's neither here nor there. But for me, as for me, I know that I've seen him do it before plenty of times, answering like I've said before, me losing like everything, and literally in no time I'm having it back. But it just seemed like when you're in that moment, in that time, it's like sometimes you're just like, I'm not even trying to hear that. But it's like you need to hear that. You need to understand, like, listen, if I brought you this far, just keep being patient with me. You can't be like, oh, I believe in you when you constantly just see me doing things for you. But you have to have that faith and trust that even if you don't see it, I got you. I ain't gonna let you fall or nothing like that. I got you covered. And that goes into like that same when people say, if you're gonna pray, why worry? And if you're gonna worry, why pray?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a few things. I hope I remember everything I was gonna say.
Cause that was a little rant, ain't it?
But so a few things. So first, just thinking about like going back to like being in that moment. So what if there's like a time where you're not necessarily, so I'm gonna say for example, because you're always praying for something about something.
Yeah, even if it's just thank you.
Right. But like we have those moments where it's something that's pressing right then, right now, and something that we really want right then, right now. But like how, where was I going with this? So yeah, maybe lose my train.
I'm sorry.
So like in those moments, like when we're really having those conversations, like constantly having that same conversation with him about, God, I want this. Where are you? I've been asking about this.
Can you hear me now?
Right. Can you hear me? Like,
is this thing going?
but it's like how I have to come back to that because I can't remember now. But the other thing I was gonna say, just thinking about, and this is something that we've talked about, like just in general conversation. If he brought you to it, he'll bring you through it.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to like really like learn.
Right.
And also knowing that sometimes what we want in that moment may not be what we need in that moment may not be what we want.
Mm.
And because maybe right now a job change isn't in the picture.
Right.
Maybe it's you continuing to grow in your doula program and your doula services. Maybe that's what he really wants you to focus on right now. But he's like, you trying to focus on something else that is not in the cards at the moment.
Right.
And so maybe he's trying to get you to understand that by giving you these opportunities like being on a board and being a part of the program that you not too long ago completed or different things like that.
Right.
And sometimes we don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's giving us these other opportunities that are just as great, but because that's like it may be something that we want, but it's not the top of our list.
Right.
We're not appreciative of them as much as we should be.
Right.
And then also we struggle with, because we talked about this a lot, we struggle with accepting that we are doing great for our age.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are doing honestly beyond great.
Right.
We have a lot going for ourselves. Like moving from small towns
Mm-hmm.
at the age of 22. Yeah,
Yeah.
22 on our own,
Mm-hmm.
literally fresh out of undergrad,
Fresh.
not
Within a
knowing
couple of months, not even a year.
right,
Yeah.
not knowing what to do. We just out here. Of course, we have like the guidance of our parents, but
Winging it.
they're far away.
Yeah.
So, but we're actually here on our own and figuring out like how to navigate life by ourselves. Because
Mm-hmm.
although like we were in an apartment at undergrad,
We still had support of our parents,
right,
really. Yeah.
and we weren't really adults then.
Yeah.
So like moving here, 22, apartment by yourself, having to literally make decisions by yourself at that point, navigating different things, really navigating adulthood and the things that come with it,
Because stuff started
hitting the
hitting.
ceiling.
He was getting boxed like Layla with Leo Clarissa Shields. Lord have mercy.
Like learning to accept even the smallest blessing,
Mm-hmm.
or even learning to accept again that we are doing great for our
Right.
age. Like even now at 29, but even like back then when we really were talking about
Yeah.
it, what honestly that's probably like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, so it wasn't long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always beat ourselves up about like, okay, yay, I got this
But we don't
whatever
take
big
time to
blessing,
celebrate
but we
it.
don't take time to celebrate and
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate it.
Right.
So I think learning to appreciate even the smallest things, because those small things can add up to big things.
Right.
And if we can't appreciate the small things, how can we appreciate when we get that real big thing?
Mm-hmm. And that's something we always say. And like with us, I think being that we're such overachievers, and maybe it's just something that's just been ingrained in us.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get out of that. Like you said, being that we're such overachievers. Did I like stutter that? Being that we're such overachievers, things that we think are regular or normal is not really regular or normal. Like we really be doing things like
Yeah, we really be doing the thing like
like for real. Like it's I don't know. Like you said, we don't really appreciate it because we think it's regular. But then when you sit back and realize, it's just like everybody don't really get these opportunities, especially like even take our parents. Like there's something like my parents even say to me, like, you're doing a lot for yourself that I'm probably just not doing in my like 50s and when I was in my 40s. Like you're way ahead of the game. And I just be like, you think so? But it's just like, no, but for real, like I feel like even before both of us got into relationship stuff, we were so well established as women. Not saying we always got it right or we always got it perfect, but we've been so well established in so far ahead of the game
Mm-hmm.
that we don't realize, like, no, like
You really that
you
girl.
really that girl,
As
like,
Beyonce say, I'm that girl.
period. And it's just like, dang. And sometimes I think we're so afraid to brag on ourselves. I feel like, because me, I never wanted to come off as cocky
Right.
or,
It's like, how do you brag without sounding cocky?
but it's like, it's not even cockiness. It's just knowing like what you know about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even you bragging on yourself. It's you bragging on what God did for
Mm.
you. Cause
Mm.
I ain't ashamed to brag about God
Mm-mm.
because
And
listen,
all the things he's done for me.
cause
Good.
baby,
Ah.
cause baby, listen, I literally said that I'm like, God, like, even when I wasn't deserving of it, even when I didn't put you as a priority
You saw fit for me to have.
for me to have it and bless me like abundantly, like,
Mm.
yeah. And that's why, like, I sometimes I get emotional when I think about it, when I be like, literally when I was just like not really thinking about you, not really like, I don't know, like giving you the attention that you need. You
Mm-hmm.
gave me all the attention. You still took care of me. You still provided
Mm-hmm.
for me, even exceeding like just my needs.
Basic
Like
needs,
you,
yeah.
you did above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like,
Mm.
mm, you can't help but to be grateful. Like, and sometimes, and this is what I told my daddy. I was like, after it was the same conversation of what I was
Mm-hmm.
saying of like, seeing people like get these things, like bad people get these things and good people don't. But then I was like, in a prayer I had to ask God and be like, God, you bless me so abundantly, even when I don't deserve it. So anytime that I get besides myself
Mm.
and I become ungrateful, check me right then and there. Check me. Because, bruh,
Mm.
bruh,
That right
listen.
there.
And like, you have to really humbly come to
Yeah.
God with that and be willing to get checked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like, oh, let me humble myself down a little bit.
And he knows that we're not perfect. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
expect us to be perfect. He
Right.
knows that we're going to mess up. He knows that we're going to have days when we're not leaning on him as much as we should be.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that we're going to have days where we're not actively and intentionally building that relationship with
Right.
him. And he accepts that and he
Mm-hmm.
forgives us for that.
Right.
And it's just amazing because, mm, my
Listen,
God.
my God, literally, my God. It's like, it's like that saying goes, like, you didn't understand when you was younger, when your mama would be like, "Thank you, God," and now you find yourself be like, "Really, thank you, God," and like, I always. At one point in time, I didn't understand the phrase "gratitude is the best attitude" until
Mm,
I started working like what we do, like what I do now, like in my
mm-hmm,
job. But like, when you really think about it, when you really start practicing gratitude and being thankful for what you have, it changes your whole mood
mm-hmm,
and your perspective a
mm-hmm,
whole lot. Like,
mm-hmm,
it really makes you be like, all right, maybe I'm doing a little too much right
mm-hmm.
now. Like I said, like before, like he's doing all of these things for me to this point. Why in my mind do I think like he still wouldn't do that?
And you know what that makes me think of? The song Grateful.
Mm-hmm.
That song right there will
Have you
tear me
weeping?
up,
Did we sing
okay?
it at church with Sunday? And
Yes.
we both was like,
Yes. Yes.
we
I
was
just
a mess that Sunday.
I hear it in my head right now and
Mm-hmm.
like I can feel the waterworks forming back
It's
there.
about that. Mm-hmm.
But it's just like that song is just it's honestly a perfect example of what you just explained. Like you're so grateful
Mm-hmm.
for even the smallest things. Again, like a roof over your head. Well, that may be big to others, but that's honestly like basic needs in this
Yeah.
life, like roof over your head, working AC because it is hot.
And that's things that people really don't. We can go out down the street right now and find a few people who don't have that. Don't
Hmm.
have that.
But they're probably like so grateful for everything else that they have,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just being able to wake up and see another day,
Mm-hmm.
or to see that all their limbs are working, or
Right.
that they were just able to open their eyes
Mm-hmm.
and breathe.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Right. And then it makes you think like, is my problems really that big?
Or am I making that big?
Or am I making it that big? Am I
Because no
being a
problem is
drama queen?
no problem is a big promise of God.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Listen, it's I don't know. It'll just be crazy. And like I said, this conversation is just confirmation
Mm-hmm.
for me. Because when I say we had about a little hour talk today,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like you said, he don't expect perfection. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
human. Like we was born into a world of sin because Eve decided to eat that apple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like flat anyway. But it's like that what I was saying, Eve that made me mad.
But it goes back to just walking into those rooms like God sent you, and being grateful that he placed you in those rooms,
Mm-hmm.
because he could have just left you out in the hallway
Okay.
and say you figure out how you're gonna get in that room on your own.
On your own.
But at the same time, as soon as he places us in those rooms, we need to make sure we continue to do the work on our end too. He can't do everything. It
Right.
takes two to
It takes
tango.
two to tango. That reminds me, today actually on my meeting, we had a meeting. It was like a reflection meeting or something
Mm-hmm.
among each other. And my coworker was basically just like at a training that she did with one of her sites. She
Mm-hmm.
was like she asked everyone to draw a picture of themselves in fight or flight mode.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ladies drew herself praying. I was like, okay. And so she had the conversation with her, and basically um the lady was just like, she just prays. And she was like, okay, then what?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just figure, okay, I'm gonna just pray
And that's
and I'm
it.
gonna wait on God and that's it. But if you go by the scripture, it says faith without works is dead. So
Mm-hmm.
you can pray all day long. But if you ain't doing nothing, like I said, a lot of people think God is like a magician. And you think things are just supposed to pop out of thin air and you're not supposed to do anything. But
Mm-hmm.
what it is that he gives us what we need to get what
Mm-hmm.
we want.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll ask God, I don't know. For example, I just a crazy example.
Mm-hmm.
God, I want a cake. Okay, you want a cake? I can
Mm-hmm.
give you a cake. You can get a cake, but what do you have to do to get a cake? You need to go to the store and you need to get,
The
well, if you want to do the cake
ingredients.
mix, you do the cake mix. But you need to get your flour, your eggs, your
Mm-hmm.
butter, your sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever else going to cake.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need to come home and do the work to make the cake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just want to be like,
Here you
there you
go.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's for you, and you just not do anything. And that
Mm-hmm.
goes back to my point, what I said earlier is that when things come so easy to you like that, you don't appreciate it. Like, when you make something and you see your creation, you're so appreciative of like, dang, I really did that.
And then also, just even going deeper with that, the process of doing that is not going to be pretty the entire time. You're going to
No.
have mess ups. So let's take the cake for
Mm-hmm.
example. You're gonna have flour everywhere, ingredients gonna be all over the place. You're gonna use 5011 cooking utensils to make it. You might even burn a slice.
The cake might even fall.
It might even take longer. Let's say you are using a cake mix or something with it or whatever. It might even take longer for it to cook than what it says.
Right.
Because you use the wrong pan.
So are you not going to eat the cake, or you're not going to appreciate the cake when it's done? Yeah,
So are you gonna keep working to make sure you get it to where it needs to be?
mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize there's beauty in the process of
Mm-hmm.
things. Like, because I feel like when you go through the process of things, it teaches you things.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody want to learn nothing. They
Mm-hmm.
just want stuff. You don't want to learn behind it.
And how do you expect to grow and evolve into a new person, especially when you get this new thing? How do you expect to grow if you don't want to learn anything
Right.
or go through the process? You just
Mm-hmm.
want to, I want this
And I want it.
and I want it now.
That's it.
You don't care about nothing in the middle. You don't care about how you get there. Like how they used to be in math class. Show me your work.
Show
Show
me
me how
your
you got
work.
that answer. You
Yes.
can't just say 2 + 2 = 4. How you know
How
that?
you know that?
I know you ain't just cheated. You better put them 2 dots and another two plus two
Plus
more
two
dots
dots.
and show me that you counted up.
Right. Show me the work you have done to get to where you are. That's a word right there. That's a word right there. Come on, God. Okay.
Listen,
Okay.
you better walk in that room like God sent you.
Okay. Okay.
They know, and you ain't gotta tell nobody how you got to that room. You could have been walking in there, the heel done broke off your shoe. You could have popped the strap on your shirt, got a hole in your
The
pants
pants don't
now.
rip.
Your windshield wipers don't start working, or they just like.
But guess what?
You
You
got
made
there.
it to that room.
And now you in that room, and
so
now
you better dust yourself off, fix yourself up.
you better
fix yourself
stand tall, and you
boldly.
better captivate. You better knock
I
them
don't
out
care if you got the limp on that little broken heel. You better walk in there
like God sent you.
Period. Clock that. Clock that. But that goes along with what we saying about the process. And it's not gonna be pretty, but it's not, the process can be ugly, but it's a beautiful thing in the end, because just like, oh, I did all this. Now I know for real I deserve to be in this room. God sent me, because if He helped me get through the shenanigans that I had to go through to get to this point, oh yeah, baby, I'm walking in here boldly.
If He brought me to it, He'll bring me through it
every time.
That's just like, ain't nobody being born and they're automatically an amazing athlete.
No,
it takes practice. It takes
and
them falling down. It takes growth. It takes going through the ugly process of it before they're even like this star athlete.
Right. And a lot of people too, they think getting a relationship with God means that you will never have any obstacles. And they think when you ask and pray for stuff from God, that the path is straight. That the road is straight and a smooth ride. He said He'll give us that. He didn't say it's gonna be perfect.
And He didn't say how.
He didn't say how. You might get a little potholes. You might have a little detours. You might have to go over a little bridge. You never know. He said He'll get you there, but like you say, He never said how. But as soon as we get to that first obstacle, we don't want to go through it. We want to stop right there because a wall. We hit a wall. We don't try to figure out how to get over or around that wall. We just give up and be like, all right, maybe this ain't for me. And can you imagine how many blessings we let fumble because we were afraid and even lazy to figure it out, work through it, work through it. Because sometimes I think about like yeah, I'm at a good place, but think about like some of the opportunities I probably sold myself short on because I didn't think that I was qualified for. I didn't think I was good enough. I was deserving of. Just think about that. It's like,
but then it's like they say, two things can be true at the same time. It also makes you think like, okay, if I didn't go through that, if I didn't like, doubt myself, would it have taught me the things that I know today?
right.
How to be appreciative, how to not be doubtful, how to have more confidence in my capabilities. Would it have taught you that lesson?
Yeah. Finding the silver lining in things. That's, yeah. Because like we said earlier, rejections are sometimes a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a good thing because it pushes us more towards where we need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's not like in the moment, we may not, our wants may not be the need at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Like we know what we want, but that's not where we need to be at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
And I think you might have said this in the first episode, but delayed never means denied.
Never
It
means
just
enough.
means not yet,
Not yet.
not right now.
Not right now.
Mm.
Not right now. And we don't know how to take that. It's like a kid with your mama when you was a kid and you go in the store and your
Mm-hmm.
mom be like, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you be like, but I want this. And you be
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't really need that right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You don't. And you have a little tantrum. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, sometimes I might get a little tantrum like, God, I really want this. Like
Mm-hmm.
I really, really want it. And me, I feel like I said this before. When I want something, I want it like right then and there.
That's like that. What is it? That cash advance commercial. Or no, what is
It's
it?
my money and I need it
Or
now.
JG Wentworth. It's some
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah. Like we just feel like it's ours. It's like we have the entitlement, spirit of
Mm-hmm.
entitlement with certain things. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh.
Mm-hmm. And then that also kind of goes into like we're talking about walking into rooms like God sent us, but it also goes into talking about like our gifts and things like that,
Yeah.
and actually like being appreciative of those gifts and using them
Mm-hmm.
and not just letting them go to waste.